result in Detroit.
I feel like a broken record, some nice saying these things.
Yeah, you know what? It doesn't. It doesn't. I think, we've stood here after some losses where, we haven't been happy with the effort, we haven't been happy with the execution, we haven't been happy with whatever else you want to name. But, I think looking at, the last two games and, the overall body of work, obviously, both teams are going to get chances, both teams are going to have swings and momentum, but, playing against two highly offensive teams, some real dangerous players, I thought we did a really good job of limiting their chances 5-on-5. I thought we created a lot of chances 5-on-5, and like I said, we take the effort, the style, those things into the next game, and that's all you can do. The results are going to, follow if we can continue with efforts like those.
How does an athlete learn to deal with the upset of losing and trust the process at the same time?
I don't know if you ever fully learn. Obviously doubt creeps in. When you haven't been able to put a streak together, and you lost several in a row. It's tough to have that faith. But I think we believe in what the coaching staff is saying. We believe in this group that when we're all playing, the right way, when everyone in this room is going, we're a good team. We can't just rely on one or two guys. We need contributions, from everyone. And I think the last two games it's looked a lot more like that.
You get secondary scoring tonight, and your goal and your line had lots of chances. I mean, that's got to be the blueprint for you guys going forward.
Yeah, I think the last two games, I felt like our lines really played with purpose. Trying to limit, whether it was McDavid's line or Kaprizov or kind of whatever variation they had going in mini. I thought that we did a good job of staying above their speed, limiting his chances through the neutral zone, and then transitioning the puck quick and creating stuff off the forecheck, being heavy, getting around nets, and putting pucks to the paint. Barry had some real great looks, and he's been really creating, and Pierce has really fit in well on this line as well.
I would prefer to come in a win, but it was like to score in game 800.
Yeah, it was just nice to pull us back into the game. It had been a while. It's no secret secondary scoring's really been an issue for us. So I felt like it helped bring the building to life. But yeah, I would trade that for a win.
Fair to say this team needs some offensive help. Is that a fair comment?
Well, I think it's in here. I think it's we look at the contributions of certain guys in this room and what they've done in the past. They have long track records of producing offensively, good secondary rates. I think the chances, the posts, the looks we have, eventually the dam's going to break and you're going to get them, and then it seems like scoring comes in bunches. So like I said, we just got to stick with it and keep playing like the effort tonight. We've squandered a lot of points. We know the predicament we're in, so we have to start making up ground. But I think we have the confidence that, like I said, we go out there, we put together a body of work like we did tonight. We'll get better results than we did. Thanks, guys.
What did you like about the effort there tonight?
Well, I mean, when you put up 40 shots in a game, it's you're looking to get more than one goal, and obviously their goalie played a heck of a game. But I thought we had another great start to the first period there, and that's kind of the goal that we're trying to get to.
How does an athlete balance trusting the process when you do outshoot a team like that with the frustration of losing, and at the same time?
Well, you just I guess just trusting each other and trusting our systems, and the guys around you. You just keep saying to yourself, I can only get so many bad bounces for so long, and at some point it's got to flip, and that's our belief. And if we keep playing like that, we're gonna end up turning them into some wins. So hopefully we can do that moving forward.
Was the game plan to get offense from the blue line tonight? It looked like a lot of plays went through you guys.
Well, I mean, when our forwards are getting back, and it allows our D to jump, and that's what they're doing, and that's part of our game plan, and we want to come up with 4-man attacks and get as much offense as we possibly can, but create it from our defense.
How was your group able to limit the opportunities at 5-on-5 for both McDavid and Draisaitl?
I think just keeping them to the outside. Obviously, you got to respect their talent and their speed and what they can do, but trying to eliminate their time and space, but at the same time trying to keep them to the outside.
You make it tough on Picker, do you think? Tough enough? Is he just stealing the show? Or?
Played a heck of a game. It is what it is. You're going to run into a hot goalie at one point, and we wish we could have found the back of the net more than once.
How frustrating is it at this point?
Well, it's not fun. Nope, not fun.
What's the coach's message about the lack of offense in terms of goals when you do get those shots?
Well, I mean, just basically just keep firing, because at some point these are going to go in, and we're getting enough grade A chances, and we're getting those chances in tight, but we just want to be puck luck, and they're not finding the back of the net.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dylan.
tell your team after that one?
That's tough. You know what? That was that's 6 periods for me that have been how we have to play. The only difference is we need points. We need the points. We got to find a way to, score some more goals than the opposition. We have to. We got to get points. But I can't criticize the effort. I can't criticize the battle, the opportunities, the game plan that we threw at them to, against their elite players. All those things I asked them to do, they did it, and it's at the end of the day, we're not getting points, and that's the most important thing.
Adam breaks a long drought, but then other guys, get nothing.
Still waiting on guys, and it's hard because I'm hoping it for them, but at the end of the day, it's all part of what professional hockey players go through. It's guys go through these slumps, and you got to find a way to get yourself out. There's just. Obviously your teammates can help you, but it's, to me, if you put the hard work in and you find a way to maybe do something a little bit different than maybe you normally do, and hopefully you can get that goal that makes a difference in a hockey game.
You ever gone through something like this before?
Yeah, I think everybody has. Teams
many
teams
guys?
have seen. I don't know if I've seen. I guess there probably has been situations where it's been a group like this, but. It's just kind of the overriding thing right now. Why we're in a game like that, we're playing a heck of a hockey game, and it gets stressed. It gets the whole. You can feel it. There's some stress happening, and guys aren't doing the natural things that they normally do.
How do you balance the upset of losing with the trusting of the process that leads to a shot count like you got tonight?
Sorry, maybe.
For me, it seems. You guys have lost more often than you've won now. There must be a level of upsetness and all of that. And you believe in your process, the effort level. So how do you balance those two things?
Well, just played a team that just went to Stanley Cup Finals 2 years in a row, and we spent an awful lot of time in there in the rink. I think the process worked. Again, it's us finishing, the finishing aspect. Our power play. Spent almost the whole time in their end of the rink on our 3 power plays. We had 8 quality scoring chances on our power play. All these things have to kind of, when they all seem to be, everything seems to be working, you're scoring 3, 4, 5 goals a game, you're not talking about this stuff. But for me, on the process side, we were complaining about our process and what we were doing earlier in the year and through stretches recently. In this last bit, this has been the best and the players would be the ones that admit it as well. This is the best we've played these last 6 periods. More like we have to play. And sooner or later this has to fall. The other way where these goals have to come. But I can't see us all of a sudden. We're not going to just go and play, throw it to the wind, and just say, okay, here we'll trade chances with the Edmonton Oilers. How's that going to end up? We already tried doing that earlier. Our process and our end of the rink, we're keeping these top teams under 10 scoring chances, 5-on-5. So for me, the process, I can keep saying that, but at the end of the day, just keep doing what we're doing, and hopefully that we can score some goals and we'll get some points.
A lot of your chances came from your blue line today. Is that because you had offensive zone time and you could feed them, or was that an
It has a little bit to do with Edmonton, how they really play low on how they defend, and they pack it in kind of low, and so it does open up the pucks to the top. And I think that one of the things is when you're not having success in scoring goals, when you start shooting these pucks from the top and you're getting high tips, you're getting screens, you're getting rebounds, those are the things, the type of goals that all those guys are hopefully maybe can get, that it gets them off the schneid, and maybe they can get back on the score sheet. So the worst thing you can try to do is be cute, try to make more passes. And there was a couple times tonight where I felt we should have shot and we should have attacked, but at the end of the day, if we're getting that volume from the top, that's creating the scramble that forces, in this case, Edmonton to get out of their structure. And then hopefully that's the chances. It's a rebound, or it's kind of like Lau's goal. It was a bad angle shot into his feet. The rebound's sitting there and it's in the net. But I'd like to see about five of those happen in a game.
Scott, how would you describe the job that Lowry line did in the matchup game this evening?
I think there was a double matchup, right? There was Scheif against Draisaitl most of the night, and it was Lau against McDavid. And those guys are elite. They're amazing players, and we've seen an awful lot of them. We saw what they did to us in their building the last time we were in there, and that's a yeoman's job that those guys did. But I just really wish that we could have been rewarded with 2 points behind it. Thank you. Thanks.